Let's see. Here we go. There we go. Perfect. Let me check this for a second. Yes. Okay. Hi. Good afternoon. If you're watching this right now, maybe some other time of the day, of course. I don't know when you would enjoy doing your yoga. It doesn't really matter, as long as you can take a moment and relax. Just make sure that you have a soft surface, something that helps you relax more. It's easier on the joints. And you can always use something to lift your hips slightly. Sometimes it's nicer to sit down that way. But anything, anything you need, anything you like to adjust the poses, you can use that. I need to put on something here. There we go. Hi, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We're gonna do about 40-minute yoga stream. We're gonna do some relax yoga, so it's hot enough here. And you can always make poses easier or more difficult. That's completely up to you. So take some time to settle in. As you can see, we're in a different place right now. So take some time to get your mat, or maybe you have a rug. Anything that helps you kind of mark a place for yourself for your practice. And just take some time. I'll start in about a minute. So there's no rush. If you are already completely ready, you could just sit down, close your eyes, relax for a bit. It's nice. So let's get started. You can just start sitting in this position, but of course, as you know, you can choose any position you like. Use a chair if you don't like sitting on the floor, a cushion or block under the hips to lift yourself. Whatever you need to make yourself sit comfortable and with a straight back. So if you feel you are having trouble sitting up, it helps to lift the hips. That way the pelvis can tilt a little bit easier. And it's more easy for you to sit up straight, okay? So just make sure that your hands are comfortable. You can keep them in your lap, on your legs, on your knees. Whatever you fancy, it's your party. And once you're comfortable, try to focus on the breath. You don't have to judge yourself on how you feel right now, or how your breathing is going. We're just going to focus on the rhythm of your breath. There's no right or wrong. Okay, so try to focus how many counts you can count, your inhale is and how many counts your exhale. And maybe you feel where you're breathing. If you're going all the way towards the belly, maybe the breath is in the lungs or stuck somewhere up higher in the throat. Maybe you notice sensations in your body. And it could be anything. If you are having pain somewhere, of course that's very obvious. Your body asks for the attention there. But there are a lot of physical signs that are less obvious, and maybe if you take some time you can notice them. Maybe it's a tingling sensation, maybe it's warm or cold, maybe it's a slight pressure somewhere. And see if you can relax your breathing a little bit. If it's very high or very tight, try to relax your belly so the breathing kind of goes down on its own. And maybe you feel some tension leaving your body. Or maybe you don't, it's okay. The point is that you kind of know what you're working with. So that you can be mindful in your movements, mindful in your postures, mindful in your breathing. It's important not to cross lines in your body that are not there to cross. And you can give yourself, your body some space by taking it easy, by not going too far, too fast, too deep. And sometimes you might be in a pose where you can go very deep or very far, and that's quite nice too. You know, you can always challenge yourself with that. As long as the breathing is easy, as long as there's no struggle in the mind, you can take any challenge you want. Be mindful of your posture right now. If you feel your shoulders are starting to hang or the lower back is aching, you can move or you can wiggle a little bit or make the pose a little bit softer by leaning backwards or forwards a little bit. Try to sit up straight, okay? You can teach your body to sit still and comfortable. And when it starts to hurt, you quit, you can hang forward all the way or just lie down for a little bit. This is a posture too, this is an asana as well, so it's important to do this one mindful as well. And to not harden your body in this pose. So don't be too hard on yourself, telling yourself you need to sit up straight for at least 5 minutes. If you can hold on for 1 or 2, that's good, and then you just relax. Something in my eye, always nice. Few more deep breaths here. You can already be so happy that you're taking this time for yourself. You know, you're already taking time to relax, taking time to be aware, maybe just to stretch a little bit. It'll take some time to slowly open your eyes again. Maybe you want to roll your head a little bit. Take the upper back width, just rolling up and down, side to side, you know, whatever you like. Maybe the shoulders as well. Usually you'll feel, you know, you'll know when your body needs some stretch somewhere. Roll it up and down. Now we're going to move it a lot more, so don't worry. You can bring your hands on either side of your body, fingertips touching the ground. And then you can rise the hands all the way towards the ceiling, stretch yourself all the way out. And when you breathe out, bring the hands in front of your heart, in front of your sternum. And then going the same way back up. When you breathe in, bring them back up. Stretch as long as you can. And when you breathe out, just let them come down. I'm going to do that one more time. Breathe in, all the way up, stretch out. And when you breathe out, just relax them all the way back down. Very good. One more up. And one more down. You can breathe fully with that. You know, if you want to sigh or yawn during the exercise, just go right ahead. Try to bring the hands together in front of the heart. And the heart is always a little bit left, so it's kind of in front of the sternum, what we mean by that. And then you can slightly rotate from left to right, okay? So slightly make a rotation. Try to keep the sternum up, so you keep sitting up straight. And you just rotate from left to right. Try to keep the hands in front of the sternum, so don't try to move your hands separately from your body. Just gonna move the body. Both ways. Easy stretching, very good. And you might see behind me, the curtains are moving, starting to, the wind is starting to pick up a little bit. Okay, we can come back to the center, and then we're going to just move the hands. You know, the back goes along maybe a little bit, but mostly you move your hands from left to right, so your chest stays a little bit in the middle. You can go along a little bit, that's okay. But you're moving the hands, okay? Left to right. Keep moving, keep stretching. Doing great. Very good. There we go. And back to the center again. Once you're done, you can put your hands on the floor in front of you. And you can walk your hands all the way forward as long or as far as you want. Maybe you want to place the elbows on the floor and release your hand. Just relax the neck, relax the back, the belly. Keep the breath going, full and long. And then roll yourself back up. You can walk your hands back towards your body, all the way up. You can place them behind you and stretch yourself out. So you can make a round or actually a hollow back. You can open up front, lift the chin if you want to, if it's okay for the neck. Keep breathing. And on your next exhalation, slowly come back down. Change position of the legs, so the other one comes in front. Bring them towards you a little bit. If you're on a chair, you don't have to do anything, of course. And again, place your hands in front of you and walk yourself forward as far as you like. Release the head. Relax the jaw, relax the face. Just make it a moment where you can let go. Deep breathing. One more breath, and again, take your time walking yourself back up, all the way. Again, you can place the hands behind you, stretch out, completely hollow the back as far as you like. You can make this exercise as long as you want. One more breath, and then slowly, again, come back down. So we're going to make all movements slow today. You can make them as fast as you like, of course, but it's very hot, so it's easier to keep them slow. Come on to all fours. Place your entire hand on the floor, which means 10 fingers, 10 fingertips are touching the floor. Your thumb all the way towards the wrist, middle of your hand, so you make as much contact with your surface as possible. So you're very strong, your hands are strong. You can curl the toes under. We're going into downward facing dog. If a downward facing dog is too much right now, just stay on your knees, okay? So you stay on your knees. If you want to stretch your legs while on your knees, stretch them one by one. If you're in downward facing dog, you can just walk the dog, as they say. So your toes stay on the ground, and then you bend your knees one by one, stretching out. Very good. Okie dokie. When you're ready, we're going to three-legged dog. You can do the same on your knees. Keep your left foot on the floor and stretch out your right leg all the way up. Bend the knee and let your right foot hang over the left foot. Keep the weight backwards. So stretch your arms, stretch the legs a little bit. You can always bend the leg a little bit, but if you stretch it more, the leg you're standing on, the left one, you have a bit more grip, a bit more power. So open up the hips, and when you breathe out slowly, let the right foot come down beside the left one and change sides. Right one stays on the floor, bring the left one all the way up and back. Bend your knee, bend your knee and then bring it over the right leg. Keep the arms stretched, open the hips, And just keep breathing. In and out. You're doing great. You can do the same thing on your knees. And then lower the left foot back, all the way down. You can come onto your knees. And from here we're going into child's pose. So you can bring the hips back all the way towards the heels. You can let your head rest on the floor if you want to. You can bring your hands backwards, or you can let your head rest on your hands. It's both fine. Whatever is most comfortable to you right now, just make it a pose where you can unwind, calm down, take a moment. Try to focus on your breath again. So when you're in child's pose, try to focus on the rhythm. How fast or how slow are you moving? Are you breathing? Fast or slow is your breath moving? And is it okay for you, or you feel that your heart is racing a little bit from the downward facing dog? So try to slow down your breathing. So take your time. Slow down the breathing and feel that your rhythm, the heart is going downward as well. Okay, so it's connected. Few more breaths here, take your time. And when you're ready, roll yourself up. Okay, so you can use your hands to just walk yourself back, take some time. Take a moment to breathe in hero pose. It's also a good way to slowly come up. From hero pose, we're going to deer pose, which is a pose from the yin yoga. You can move your hips towards the right. So you sit beside your feet basically. Hold the upper ankle, in this case the left one, and you bring the lower foot out. Lower the left knee, and then the right foot is touching the left knee. So you kind of make a triangle with your legs here. The other foot is just out. If you want to point your toes outwards, it's fine too. Whatever is best for you. And you would feel that you can wiggle here a little bit. Maybe it's too deep. Maybe the pose is too deep. And get a block or a cushion, to put under the right hip. Okay, so if you lift yourself in this pose a little bit, it's easier to sit. So try to feel, again, be very mindful of your knees, of your ankle, of your back. Try to sit up straight. It's easier for the back if you're straight. And you can always close your eyes in this pose and just see if it's okay. Sometimes, just after a few breaths, you start to feel like, oh, I need to adjust this pose a little bit. Perfectly fine, just do so. Make it your own. There are no rules. There's only an idea, and maybe you want to follow the idea, maybe you feel you need something completely different. Always make it your own. A few more breaths. Take your time. And then you can bring the hands sideways, and you can twist towards the left, towards the back foot. If you want to, you can stay this way, or you can lower the hands. One comes in front, one comes in the back, and you can always look over the left shoulder. So you kind of make it your complete twist in deer pose. Keep the breathing soft, easy. Try to keep the back long. Keep on breathing. Okay. Bring the hands up, shoulder high, and just twist back. You can lower the hands this way. And then you can come backwards a little bit. So you can bring your hands behind your body and just walk yourself backwards as far as you like. You might feel that this stretches the left leg and the hips a little bit. Maybe it's too much, that's okay, just you're gonna stay up. You can walk as far as you like. just relax onto your hands, okay? So you can lean in your hands a little bit. Make sure the breathing is still okay. Yeah, so you're still breathing very softly, very easy. In and all the way out. You're always free to close your eyes. I'll guide you through it. You can always take a peek if you don't get it. One more breath. And from here, we're slowly going to walk ourselves back into deer pose, and you can lean towards the right. If you're sitting on something, just come off of your block. Lean towards the right so you got some space to stretch the left leg. Maybe you want to stretch them both for a second, wiggle them a little bit. And be aware of what you're feeling, okay? So we're moving mindfully, which we always do in yoga. But sometimes you only feel what a pose does for you afterwards. When you're getting out of a pose, you might feel like, ooh, that was enough, or too much, or I could go a little further, ooh, it was nice or not nice. Don't judge it. You can always, make a little internal note to yourself about how to adjust the pose maybe next time. But for now, this is perfectly fine. We're going to go the other way. Again, come onto hero pose. So you always start from here, because then it's easier to get into your pose. Now sit on the on the left side. So move towards the left, hold the upper ankle, bring the lower one out in front of you. And try to adjust the pose just so that you can sit up straight. Take some time. Keep the hands on your legs. If you want to put them in front of you, just in namaskar, it's always fine. That's your choice. If you want to make it more active, so this is a little bit more resting pose. When you keep your hands in front of you, you might easier lift your sternum, keep the back long. So this is a more active pose. So if you do this, you can keep it very relaxed. Or if you want to put a little bit of pressure on your hands, you can activate the shoulder area, arms. You can make it a very strong pose. Keep yourself lifted. So don't sink into that left side, but bring the energy up. So you keep yourself long, open. Try to release some belly tension if you have, so that the breathing can go down and make its way all the way through your body. Okay? One more breath here, and then you can bring the arms up shoulder height, stretch them out, and we're going to twist towards the right, towards the back foot again. You can keep the arms up, or you can lower them down. You can choose how actively you want to make a pose. There's no better pose or more advanced pose. It's just what suits you. Again, you can twist to look over the back shoulder if you want. So you make a full twist in the neck if it's okay for the neck. Otherwise, you keep the head up straight. Bring your chin in slightly so you lengthen the neck. And then you can choose if you want to twist or not. Again, there's no rules in this pose. And you'll know that it differs per day. Okay, one day you might feel you want to take a full twist. One day you want to make it more soft. Or do everything on 50 or 60%. And that's cool. That means you're listening to your body. You're letting it lead. If you're leading with your mind, it's easier to overstretch something or to go too far in a pose. Because your mind always wants a little bit more. Okay. Lift up the hands again. Twist back to the middle. And then you can leave the hands behind you. Just sit back as far as you like. Bring the hands back. And take a rest here. Try to relax your feet. Okay, so there might be some pressure on the right foot, on the right heel or ankle maybe. If it's okay, you can just relax into it. If you feel you can't let go of the muscle working, so if you need your muscles to stay into this pose, then you probably are too far because the muscles want to protect your joints. So if you can't let go of the muscles because then the joint starts to ache, come back a little bit, okay? Because then you're pushing it. And it's your body will be very grateful if you go a little bit easy on it. back up. And again, you can lean this time towards the left. Bring the right foot out in front of you. And if you want to, just relax them out in front of you. Just stretch them out. Wiggle the toes if you want to. You know, turn the ankles inside, outside. That would be interesting, turning the ankles inside out. Okay. You can come back into all fours again. Okay. And if you want, you can just stretch the legs a little bit extra stretch. Might be nice. One by one, just a few times. Curl the toes under, stretching them. And we're going into Swan pose. So you can bring the right knee on the outside of the right hand to the outside of your mat, if you're on a mat. And then you can bring your toes and your feet a little bit forward. So you kind of bring the foot forward towards the left hand. Not too far, be mindful of your knee, you don't have to go all the way. And then you walk the left leg backwards with your knee and your foot. If you can sit comfortably on the floor, you don't need anything. If you feel there's a lot of space between the right hip and the floor, just put a block or a cushion behind your hips, under the leg, to ease this pose. It's easier on the knee. And then you can come onto your forearms. Okay. Take a moment here, try to feel if it's okay, if you need to adjust anything. And if you have a lot of space in this posture, you can lengthen your arms and bring your head down towards the floor and just relax it. Okay, so you make it into a very relaxed pose. You have a deep stretch on the hips, deep stretch on hamstring. Try to let go of the tension. So make the pose as hard or as easy as you want. Whatever suits you right now. And we're going to take a moment here to really feel what this pose is doing to our body. Maybe what's doing to your mind. So if you feel that your mind is kind of struggling against this pose because you want to stay in it, but your body is telling you it's very hard, and your mind is telling you, you should just breathe through the pain. That's a struggle. It's okay. Try to notice. Do you have a struggle in your mind, or your thoughts are peaceful? You can breathe easily in and out. Keep that steady rhythm. If you want to adjust, and you can slowly walk your hands again towards your own body, as far as you like. So we're opening at the front, making a round in the lower back, so be careful if you have some lower back problems. Make this a very soft pose, so you stay maybe halfway. If you can go a little further, sometimes it's very nice to just open up in this pose. Sit up straight, take your time. And just be mindful of everything you feel. Keep on breathing. Sometimes halfway through an asana, you might feel that you created some space, and then you can go even further or even deeper in the pose, and it's nice then going deeper because you have that space. And sometimes you feel you need to come back a little bit more, just to keep the breathing steady. That's our key point. That's always where we come back to the breath. Bring your hands steady onto the floor. You can lean forward a little bit. Roll the back toes under. And then you walk the left leg forward with your knee and your toes. All the way until you can release the right foot and the right leg and stretch it out behind you. Just stretch it out. Okay. We're going to do the same on the left side. Start steady on all fours again. Bring the left knee on the outside of your left hand, so towards the outside of the mat. Bring the left foot forward towards the right hand. And sometimes you come halfway, for me as well, I come halfway. Sometimes you can touch the right hand, doesn't matter, depends on your joints. So, and don't push it. Once you are going backwards with the right foot, with the right leg, do not adjust this leg anymore. If it goes inwards on its own, it's fine, because then apparently you need to make the pose a little bit more closer. But don't try to pull your foot forward, because your knee is very, how do you say that? You could really hurt the knee. Okay, again, if you're ready, just lower yourself onto your elbows and just stay here if you feel this is good for you. If you want to fully relaxation, if it's okay for your knee, your hip, your ankle, lower yourself all the way down and relax your head on the floor. Wherever you are in the pose, again, you can close your eyes and take your mind on a trip through your body. What do you feel? What sensations are there? How would you describe them? Keep on breathing. And just walk yourself back on your hands. You can stay as low as you like. If you want to, just bring yourself back up. Open up through the front. If you want to lift the chin slightly, you can do so. Open up. And try to relax the hip area so that the lower back has some room. Because if you tighten the lower back and the hips, you're kind of hardening that part of the body and it needs space to round this way. Bring the shoulders back, down to the whole tension in the shoulders, because that's so painful. Try to lower the shoulders all the way down. You can always bring shoulder blades together and back a little bit. Again, put your hands on the floor. Walk the right foot and knee towards you until you have room to take out the left foot and stretch it out all the way to the back. Take a few deep breaths. Relax the belly. And then you can again come into hero pose, so you kind of come up. From here, you can bring your hands backwards with your fingers facing your feet. You can stay like this, just make it passive. You can open up the chest, you can let the head hang down a little bit if you like, or you can make it a little bit more active by pushing up the hips. So you kind of push them upwards a little bit, they don't have much room to go up. Just a little bit in order to make a deeper stretch on the quadriceps. A little bit stretching on the hips. Activate. If you want to keep it soft, if you want to keep it relaxed, just keep your hips resting on the heels and just open up the chest. It's both fine, whatever suits you right now. And if you want to let your head hang backwards, you can do so. It's like uncomfortable for the neck, you just keep the chin to the chest. Keep breathing. If you make it an active pose, make sure you have some room between the belly muscles to keep the breathing down. Okay, so if you tense up too much, the breathing will go up and it will lose that soft rhythm. A few more breaths here. And then slowly come back. Bring yourself all the way back again to hero pose. You can roll again a little bit if you feel your shoulders need some opening, some movement. Okay. And then you can come all the way on your back. You can lie down carefully. Just lay down, Take your time. You can bring the feet hip distance, or sorry, not hip distance, mat wide. So that's wider than your hips. And then you just bring the knees from left to right. So we're gonna massage the lower back a little bit, release some tension maybe you have in the hips or in the lower back. Just going back and forth. You can let the hands rest on your belly or just outwards on the floor. If you want, you can bring your knees in, hold them, and make circles. So that's another way of relaxing the lower back, relaxing the legs. So try to relax the feet. All you need is some hand movement here, arm movement. Don't try too hard, just make it soft circles. And you can hold the knees for a little bit. Maybe you want to interlace your fingers, because then it takes a lot less strength from the arms. And you can just lay like this. It's called air release pose. Very flattering, very charming. But yes, it's good for the intestines, good for the lower belly. It's a nice stretch. And try to relax this way. If it's uncomfortable, you can come to Savasana. So just gonna lay down, let the feet and the legs go. But if you want to, you can hold on to this pose for a little bit longer. Feel how the belly is moving upside towards, how it's moving up, touching maybe the legs. See if you can practice the deep breathing, even if you have your upper legs against your belly. Try to relax your shoulders and the head. If it's impossible for you to relax your shoulders because there's too much tension, because you're kind of pulling the knees down, bring a pillow under the head and under the shoulders so that area is supported. From here, we're going to go in Savasana. Feet on the ground, and then you can let them just slide away from you one by one. You can bring them slightly outwards, so the feet fall outwards, easier to relax the hips. You can bring the hands on the belly or outside as well. As you know, there's no rule for Savasana. You can find any pose you can relax in. You can lay on your side as well, if that's more comfortable for you. And then try to let go. Any tension you might feel, any tension you might build up. Take deep, slow breaths. Try to keep it natural though. Don't force yourself into slow inhalation and exhalation if your body tells you it wants to go faster. Okay? It takes time to teach your body how to unwind, how to calm down, how to release, how to relax the breath. It's not a sprint, so now it's a marathon. Yoga is a marathon. Small steps. And you'll notice that you become more and more aware. Mindful of your body, the breath moving, the connection between your body and your mind and your breath. And once you're aware, you can work with that. And let it work in favor of each other. It'll be easier to pick up when something's off. And it will be easier to relax. Hope you already feel that after moving in Shavasana, it's easier to let go. It's easier to kind of become heavy. And just take a few more breaths here. Doing great. from here, try to make some small movements again. Roll the ankles, wrists, your head. Maybe you want to stretch yourself out. Just wake yourself up slowly, easily. And once you're ready, roll onto your side, preferably the right. That's fine too. And take a moment here. Just 1 or 2 breaths is enough to adjust. Sometimes longer, so take your time. And then push yourself back up. Push yourself all the way up to a sitting position again. Find a comfortable seat and close your eyes again. We always take a moment to self-reflect at the end of class. A moment to go inwards with your attention again after the poses, after the relaxation, to see what is there. What do you notice? What physical, mental sensations, the thoughts, emotions, the breath. Try to do that completely free of right and wrong, completely free of judgment. It's perfect the way it is right now, even if it's not okay, even if you notice things you don't like. Try to be open to what it's telling you, to what you might want to do with it, but right now you just become aware. Right now you just notice. You can bring your hands in front of your heart, in front of your sternum. Again, Anjali Mudra or Namaskar, it's both fine. And just take a moment to hug yourself inside, to smile, to be proud of what you did. You took the time for you to pay attention to yourself, to pay attention to your body, to your mind, and to your soul. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me again. If you want to share anything with me, or if you have any questions about yoga or mental health, for example, just leave something in the comments and I will always answer that. We're having another stream Tuesday at 5 as well. I hope you're having a great weekend and I'll see you next time. Bye guys, have a great evening.